But in general, meron tayong dalawang general classification for that, which is the independent and dependent variables. No? So kapag magsimula muna tayo dun sa independent variable. No? So these are the variables that is being manipulated or being controlled ng atin pong mga researcher, no? Para po ma-observe natin yung pong effect doon sa ating dependent variable. No? So if we are to consider the cause and effect relationship, ito po yung cause. No? So, in terms of the manipulation, no, sabi nga natin, no, the researcher changes or varies this variable para po makita natin papaano ba, how it affects yung dependent variable. No? So, there are cases po and there are times na yung independent variable natin, they are considered as the predictor variable. No? Bakit? Dahil po, pinopresume or kumbaga there's a great influence or napipredict na yung mga changes na ginagawa ng researcher ay ganito ang mangyayari pagdating sa dependent variable. Halimbawa, if we have an independent variable na time, no, na meron tayong process ng drying. Halimbawa, if we are to have yung independent variable na time na binari-vary natin. Halimbawa, we have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. No, and then yung dependent variable natin is the moisture content, no, with specific na temperature. No, so syempre, we can predict kung na mas kumbaga mas talagang true time, mas magiging dry, mas maliit yung moisture content na meron yung raw material natin. No. So, ang independent variable din po, it can be in different levels or in different conditions. Like for example, different treatment groups, different dosages, or different ng time points. No? So, example, no? So, in a study examining the effect ng sleep on test performance, wherein ang independent variable po natin is the amount of sleep. No, so if we have in different condition or level, halimbawa, iba't iba yung amount, like 4 hours, 6 hours, and 8 hours. No, isa pa rin, independent variable din, halimbawa, for example, yung experiment testing natin pagdating sa impact ng iba't ibang fertilizers po pagdating sa plant growth. If we are to have yung independent variable na type of fertilizer wherein ang classification niya, it can be organic or chemical. No. So, while yung dependent variable naman, yung dependent variable po, ito yung variable na nami-measure at the same time siya din yung na-observe natin in response to sa changes na ginawa po natin doon sa independent variable. So, kung kanina yung independent variable, siya ay manipulated and ano tawag dito, change. So, dito, measured and observed naman siya. And in terms, or if we are to consider the cause and effect relationship, siya po yung effect. No. So, sabi nga natin, itong dependent variable, siya po is being measured. No? So, in terms of measurement, this is the outcome that is being measured to see papaano ba nagbago yung naging response natin doon po sa independent variable. No. While we can say also, kung kanina predictor variable ang independent variable, the dependent variable is an outcome variable. No. Of this is commonly called na outcome variable. Bakit? Because it reflects po yung result noong ginagawa natin yung experimentation or experimental manipulation na ginawa natin sa atin po na independent variable. No? While if doon po sa independent variable, we can kumbaga change or we can vary. Meron tayong iba't ibang levels or conditions na pwedeng gamitin pagdating dun sa independent variable natin. We use this dependent variable to rely or kumbaga for us to know kung kumbaga ano yung magiging result no nung ating um, anong tawag dito? I mean, doon po sa changes na nangyari sa independent variable, doon po nagre-rely yung result ng ating dependent variable. No. So, example na lang, if we use yun po example kanina, it's an independent variable wherein there is a study about the sleep, no? Ano yung magiging effect niya pagdating sa result ng at sa test performance niya, which is we can measure it through test scores, no? So yung test scores, yun po yung dependent variable. While doon naman sa plant growth experiment, no, yung kung ang independent variable natin is a different kinds of fertilizer, dito naman is yun pong kung plant growth, maybe this can be in terms of yung height ng plants, number of leaves, number of kumbaga bared tooths, no. So ayun. Okay? So, ano ba ang relationship between the independent and dependent variables? Okay? So, yung independent variable, this is thought to influence, no, or cause ng changes doon sa ating dependent variable. If we are to experiment, no, and the researcher manipulates the independent variable, syempre po yung measurement ng dependent variable natin will be used para ma-assess yung effect niya, yung effect ng atin na manipulation. So example nito, halimbawa, if we are to study yung effect ng exercise pagdating sa weight loss, grabe naman yung example. Ano? So halimbawa ay yung exercise is if the exercise is the independent variable. Halimbawa, meron tayong if we are to manipulate yung amount or yung type ng exercise, kung gaano, halimbawa kung gaano katagal, 1 hour, 2 hours na exercise, or kung halimbawa, for this time, cardio muna, ayan, no. And then, ayun, doon natin, yung dependent variable natin is the weight loss. Doon natin measure ano ba yung mag-change pagdating sa weight natin. No. Okay? So, ano ba ang importance nitong mga variables na ito? So, basically, lahat ng researches, meron po nito. No? Merong independent at dependent variables. Walang natutuloy na research na wala nito. No? And because of that, it is important that we really understand ano ba talaga yung pinag-aaralan natin. No? Papaano, I mean, it should be properly identified or kumbaga, alam natin talaga kung ano yung mga variables na kailangan nating i-establish at ma-determine. No? Because those variables, they are the key. Sabi nga, yan yung pinaka-important. Kumbaga, yan yung nagsasabi kung paano ba tayo magde-design ng effective, efficient na experimentation so that ma-avoid natin na kumbaga magkaroon tayo ng mga confounding factors para po maging inaccurate yung ating results, no, or yung maging inaccurate po yung mga conclusions na magagawa natin, no. So in line with this independent variables, dependent variables, which is part ng major part on how we are going to conduct the research, no. Meron naman tayong tinatawag na conceptual framework, which is part itong variables natin, no. So yung conceptual framework po natin, that is a theoretical structure that guides yung research po natin, no. So siya yung ginagamit natin for us to which is used para po maging guide natin pagdating sa project development natin, pagdating po sa problem solving, yan. Papaano? Kasi ito pong conceptual framework, siya yung nagbibigay ng malinaw at the same time systematic na paraan para po makapag-organize tayo at the same time ma-interpret yung information. No? So magsisimula yan on the ways on how we are going to gather the information, how are we going to organize it, and how we are going to interpret those information. No. So ano ba ang part or ano bang laman ng conceptual framework, no? So, it has yung mga concepts po, no? Yan. Concepts and then theories. No? At the same time, we have the model. They are the one being used para po ma-explain natin, ma-visualize yun pong mga relationship among different elements, parameters, variables within dun sa ating study or sa atin po na project. No. So itong mga itong composition ng conceptual framework na nabanggit, they are the building blocks ng ating pong framework. No. Wherein, like for example, for the concept, no, so they are the ones being used para po ma-represent natin yung mga key ideas, yung mga variables, yung mga phenomena na pinag-aaralan natin. No, at the same time, ina-analyze. No. So kasama din yung theories, no, wherein syempre yung mga theories na yun yung ginagamit natin to provide yung explanation, no, yung reason, yung basis, yung mga assumptions natin kung paano ba na yung concepts natin ay related, no, doon sa ating pinag-aaralan na study, pinag-aaralan, no. So they have this theories, these concepts, they help the researcher to have yung hypothesis or yung tinatawag natin na predictions or assumptions, no, within dun sa atin pong framework. O halimbawa na lang sa theory na Maslow's hierarchy of needs, no. So it can be a theory that is being used para ma-explain po yung relationship ng employees motivation pagdating doon sa performance, no. So while yung models naman maliban sa concepts sa theories, yung models naman sila yung simplified, no, simplified representation of the reality, no. Ibig sabihin, these models they illustrate, no, papaano ba na yung concepts and theories natin ay interconnected, no. So kadalasan po itong models, no, meron tayong ginagamit diyan ng mga diagrams, no, gumagamit tayo diyan ng mga lines, arrowheads, no, arrows, double arrows, yan, no, para makita natin ano ba, sabi nga dito, para ma-map natin ano ba yung relationship nung mga bawat anong tawag dito, bawat elements po dun sa atin na conceptual framework, no. So the framework, it outlines yung connections and interactions between dun sa ating concepts and then dun sa ating pong theories, no. It also shows papaano po ba na yung variable natin may affect or influence po yung iba pa natin na mga variables, no. So ano ba ang purpose? Bakit meron tayong conceptual framework, no? So una po dyan is that yung conceptual framework kasi it provides the roadmap, okay, pagdating po dun sa ating research. Unang-una because it identifies ano ba ang pag-aaralan natin. No? Ano ba ang pag-aaralan natin? At papaano ba natin siya pag-aaralan? No. So it helps in formulating research questions, no, hypotheses, and the overall research design. No. And then number two, it helps in organizing and categorizing information in a logical and systematic way, making it easier to understand and analyze complex systems or problems. No. And then number three, no, purpose ng conceptual framework is by defining and illustrating yung relationship between yung mga iba't ibang concepts natin. So yung conceptual framework natin, it helps to clarify yung mga various factors po and variables, how they interact to each other. No. And then, in applied settings such as project management or systems engineering, yan, ang conceptual framework natin ay ginagamit as guide, no, pagdating sa decision making, even sa problem solving, no. Papaano by providing yung structured na approach po natin kung paano tayo mag-a-analyze and how are we going to analyze yung mga issues po. No? So, ano nga ba ang importance ng conceptual framework? No? So, unang-una, syempre, nagkakaroon tayo ng clear na structure. Paano ba natin maiintindihan yung scope at yung direction po ng ating research project? No. Also, dahil meron tayong framework na mismo, may focus na kung paano ba natin gagawin yung ating study. No, may focus na tayo. Ano ba yung mga specifics na kailangan nating gawin, no, at naintindihin pagdating dun sa ating study. No. It also ensures na yung study po natin or yung project ay grounded sa mga existing theories and knowledge. No. So, diga, uh, the difference between the theoretical framework and the conceptual framework is that, well, basically, theoretical, lahat ng information na ilalagay natin doon, all of those are related or connected po sa mga theories or existing studies natin. No, existing body of knowledge. While the concepts is basic concepts about the topic that we are going to study. No. So, kapag daw may conceptual framework tayo, since guided tayo ng mga theories, so syempre, naka-align pa rin tayo dun sa mga existing theories na yun. No? And because of that, it enhances po yung credibility at the same time, yung validity ng lahat po ng magiging results and findings po dun sa ating study. No? Isa pa pong importance ng conceptual framework is that itong conceptual framework na ito, this is being used as a tool pagdating po on how we are going to communicate with other people, no? Either sa stakeholders, either sa reviewers, other sa third party pagdating sa conduct ng research natin, no? So, it is being, kumbaga, pag present mo itong conceptual framework, for them, mas madali nilang maiintindihan how they ano bang gagawin natin dun sa ating study. No, sila mismo makikita kahit hindi natin i-explain, nakita natin yung framework, madali na sa kanila ang maintindihan. No. Okay po. So,
connection 3 to 5. Yun, walang klase na naman.
Ano 'yon? Okay. So, okay, saan ba common na ginagamit ang conceptual framework? No. So this conceptual framework, this is being used extensively. No. So sa academic research, okay, to frame the studies design and methodology. Okay. Isa sa major application na ito is that it guides the researcher kung paano ba tayo magpaplano, at the same time, how are we going to execute yung mga projects natin. In what way? No. So, because we have this framework, we can organize yung mga task. Lahat po ng activities na kailangan natin gawin pagdating sa project natin. No. In line with those goals, with those tasks, nakalagay dapat. Ano ba yung mga goals natin? Ano ba yung dapat na for that day? Ano ba dapat yung na-achieve? No. And what are the processes na involved or covered for us to achieve those goals? No, for us to convert yung inputs natin, or I mean, yung mga activities natin, yung actions natin in achieving our goals. No. So, with that, it helps yung educators natin na kumbaga makapag-design ng curriculum, nung sabi nga plano, ano yung mga possible na learning experiences no, na pwede nating kumbaga malink pagdating sa mga educational theories na pwede nating i-practice. No? We can also use this in strategic planning para po makapag-structure tayo ng business analysis. At the same time, we can have yung decision-making process natin. No? Okay. So, kanina, sabi diga, ang part ng conceptual framework is that meron niyang concept, meron niyang theories, at meron niyang model. So, ito na yun, i-discuss natin ngayon yung mga models na pwede natin gamitin pagdating po sa conceptual framework. No? Meron tayong tatlong common na ginagamit, no? Or ginagamit in our program. No? we can have the IPO model, we can have the CDIO model, and then the last is the engineering design process model. No? So magsimula muna tayo dito sa unang-una nating klase ng model, which is the IPO model. Okay? So yung IPO model po natin, ang ibig sabihin niyan is the input, process, output model. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin nito? Actually, ito pong IPO model, this is the kind of model na commonly used ng lahat halos ng iba't ibang field of study. No, pwede siya sa engineering, pwede siya sa business, pwede siya sa IT, and the other fields pa po. No. So yung kumbaga, this is being used to describe yung mismong structure po noong system or yung process na gagawin pagdating sa study. No. So sa IPO model po, this is being used to easily understand at the same time analyze papaano ba na yung mga inputs natin are being transformed no through the processes no para makapag-produce po tayo ng outputs natin. No. So ano nga ba ang components ng IPO model? So ang components po ng IPO model ay nanggaling mismo doon sa yung sa meaning ng atin po na IPO, which is isa sa component niya are the inputs, no, component niya yung process, and component niya yung output po. No. So magsimula tayo doon sa input, no. So yung input po natin, they are the resources, yung data, or materials that are fed sa ating pong system or sa ating process. No. So these inputs are essential for the process para po mag-function at the same time makapag-produce po tayo nung tina-target natin na output. No. So example niyan, halimbawa sa manufacturing process, isa po sa input natin is yan, yung raw materials. No. Yung sa example natin na ano nga yun, banana leaf to convert it into an eco plate. No. So isa sa raw material natin is banana leaf. No, so ibig sabihin, isa sa input natin are the informations and concepts na related sa banana leaf. Now, sino ang magpa-process? Sino ang gagamit ng ating pinopropose? No? Ano yung mga technologies na gagamitin no, na i-apply natin no technologies na gagamitin natin para ma-process yung ating raw material. Ano? And then, sa IT system naman, no, so, example ng mga inputs natin, the user data, yung mga commands, no, yung software requirements natin, ayan. Ano? So, yan yung mga example ng input natin. No? And then, yung next po natin na component is yung process. No? So, sa process, it refers naman dun sa actions or steps that are taken para po ma-transform yung inputs natin into outputs. No? So, this is where sa process, dito po yung mismong actual work. No? This is where yung transformation happens. No? Dun sa example natin, kung kanina ang input natin are the raw materials, yung labor, yung machinery, ngayon yung process natin, it can be about assembly, yung machining, yan, checking ng quality, no, quality control. For IT naman, no, if it is in relation to IT, yung input natin, it can be used kung meron tayong input na user data, then we can have yung data processing. Kung commands yan, therefore, we can have yung algorithm execution. If that is a software requirement, therefore, we have yung software development. No. Okay? And then yung third po na component ng ating IPO model is the output. No? So outputs are the final products or services or result generated po ng ating process galing sa input. No? So yung mga input po na ito are what the system is designed na ma-produce. No? So kung dun sa example natin kanina, from assembly, machining, ayan. So yung output natin, it may include yan, yung mga finished goods or yung products. No? Okay? So while sa IT system naman, yung output natin can be, kung kanina, ang process natin ay data processing, ay the process data, yung reports na mismo, no, or even po yung mga working software application natin. Now, so here is an example of the IPO model. So you can see here na napaka-general talaga pagdating sa IPO, input process output. No? So this is an example of a model in line with IT, no, online expert system, no, for health clinics. Wherein ang input natin dyan, yung mga knowledge requirements, again, yung pong information pagdating po sa ating problem statement, ano ba yung targets group expectation, brainstorming, what are the informations needed pagdating dun sa study, no, software requirements, ayan, wherein we are to identify the different tools na gagamitin pagdating dun sa study natin, no? Or even yan, hardware requirements like laptops, so on and so forth. For the process naman, so everything and anything from the start, papaano ninyo gagawin yung ating study. So nagsisimula yan for planning process, ayan, tapos magkakaroon tayo ng system analysis, system design, no, development, coding, anong tawag dito, testing, yan, implementation. So again, depende po yun kung anong klase ng research design meron kayo. Kung halimbawa ay design and development, then magsisimula po yan, okay, conceptualization process, no, planning, data gathering, conceptualization. I mean, parang kung inyong iaano, summary lang siya noong inyong chapter 3, no, yung process natin. And then yung output, you just have to include ano ba yung goal ninyo at the end of it, no. So kung design and development yan, then your target output will be the design and develop na machine mismo, no. Or kung meron mang product ang inyong output, then include din siya dito, no. Okay po. So next naman is the CDIO model, no. So yung CDIO model po natin, ito yung pangalawa, no, sa klase ng model na pwede nyo pong gamitin, no, pagdating sa inyong conceptual framework or sa kabuuan ng inyong research study, no. So actually, the CDIO model, medyo bago pa lang din siya. No. In our university, this is being implemented 2014, I think, no. So yung CDIO model po, it stands for Conceive, Design, Implement, and Operate. Okay? So ito pong model na ito, this is actually an educational framework. Ito po ay dinesign primarily, no, para po sa mga engineering student natin or engineering education. No. I mean, anything and everything na may kinalaman with engineering. No. So siya po ay specifically dinesign para doon. No. So this is being used para po ma-prepare yung mga engineering students natin for the real world engineering task. Okay? So basically, yung model po natin, ine-emphasize nga na yun pong hands-on, yun pong mga project-based approach pagdating sa learning. No, again, no, hands-on, no, and project-based approach pagdating sa learning. So ibig sabihin noon natututo tayo because of the projects na kino-conduct natin, na ginagawa mismo natin. No, wherein yung mga students po natin, they are engaged, no, entirely dun sa buong process po nung mismong engineering process. No. So from the start, from the time na magko-conceptualize tayo, no, going to the operation hanggang sa magkaroon na tayo ng final product or magkaroon na tayo ng final system. No. So, ito po yung components ng ating CDIO model. Same din kung ano yung meaning ng CDIO ay yun din yung component noon. No, yun din yung iba't ibang phase or stages, no. So nagsisimula muna tayo with the conceive stage. No, so kung saan dito po sa stage na ito sa engineering process natin, yan yung kumbaga ina-identify natin ano ba yung need, no. Diyan natin dinidefine ano ba yung problem, and diyan din po natin inilalagay papaano po ba, ah, 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 I mean, yung gathering ng information, no? We are to, after ng information, diyan po natin dine-develop yung mga possible na ideas, no? Ano yung mga concepts na pwede nating gamitin or i-adapt pagdating dun sa na-define, na-address natin na need, no? So, ano ba ang very common na activity natin pagdating dito sa conceive stage, no? So, commonly dyan po ay nagsisimula tayo sa problem identification. Kapag na-identify na natin yung problem, nagko-conduct naman tayo dyan ng needs assessment. Kailangan ba talaga, no? Kailangan ba talagang mag-conduct tayo ng research, no? Also, part din po ng ating conceive stage yung mag-conduct ng feasibility analysis, no? And then from there, mag-gather na tayo ng mga informations, no, ng mga data na i-consider natin pagdating sa study or dun sa project natin. And then from there, pagkakuha ng mga data na iyon, magko-conceptualize na tayo ng mismong design, no? So example niyan, o halimbawa, kung sa pagdating sa automotive engineering. Pagdating sa conceive stage, ito yung proseso kung saan nagbe-brainstorming tayo ng iba't ibang ideas para malaman natin, para makapag-produce tayo ng bagong type ng fuel engine, fuel efficient engine. Na, yung second type naman is the design stage, no? So dito sa phase na ito, sa stage na ito, yung concept na ginawa po natin sa conceive stage, we transformed it into a detailed plan, or kumbaga, gumagawa na talaga tayo ng blueprint, no? So, yung design po natin, itong design phase na ito, dito po tayo nagke-create ng mga technical specification, dito tayo nagkakaroon ng nagpo-provide tayo ng models, and then dito rin tayo ano ba yun? Po-prototyping. No. So, yung mga activities po na covered pagdating dito sa design phase natin or design stages that yan. Una, nagkakaroon tayo or nagpo-provide tayo ng detailed design work, no? Dito po sa phase na ito, nagko-conduct tayo ng simulation, dito tayo nagmo-modeling, dito tayo nagda-drafting, no? Yung specifications, pina-provide na natin. And then, no, dito rin po tayo nagpo-prototyping, no? So, example nga nito is, yan, in line with the previous topic about the fuel efficient na engine. Yan. So, we design yung components natin and we lay out yung fuel efficient engine using halimbawa CAD models or yan, mga prototype, which is for testing purposes naman. And then next po is the implementation stage. No, wherein dito po sa part na ito, ang focus na niya is yung actual, kung kanina ay more of um, prototyping, simulation, modeling, yan. Dito po ay di ang focus na ay yung actual mismo na construction or yung pagmamanufacture ng atin po na dinesign. Ano, or kung IT man ito, coding ng mga product natin. So, dito po sa stage na ito, yung design natin is translated, no, or converted into a physical product na. So, kumbaga, kung nandoon ka sa design phase o nasa laptop lang, more of ano lang yan, 2D or 3D na design. So, dito, pagka po, ano na, implementation, sabi nga ay anong tawag dito, physical product na yun. Talagang itsura na nung inyong dinesign, no? Ang inyong ipe-present. So that is the manufacturing, construction, programming, system integration, testing, no? So example na lang yan, in line again with the fuel efficient engine. So i-build na natin yung engine prototype. Then we try to assembly yung iba't ibang parte ng engine na iyon. And then we conduct yung initial performance test para ma-ensure na ma-meet niya yung design specs mismo, no? And then number 4 po is yung operate. operate stage, no? Or ito po yung huling phase ng ating model, no? Wherein yun pong product natin or yung system ay ina-apply na natin in kumbaga pinapa-experience na natin or paano ba? Yung product na ginawa natin will be used, no, in a real world setup or environment. No, dyan papasok yung operate natin. So, syempre, since it's operating, it should be maintained. No? And eventually, if in case needed, there should be decommissioning or upgrading po ng product na na-develop natin or yung system na na-develop natin. So, ang activation, yung monitoring, yung maintenance, user feedback collection, yan, and troubleshooting. So, yung example natin in line with the ano po yan, tawag dito, fuel efficient engine. So, yan. Yung construct na natin, i-install na natin yung engine na iyon dun sa mismong vehicle. And then we monitor ano ba magiging performance niya pagdating sa actual driving condition. No? So, from there, makikita naman natin ano yung mga possible na, ano yung, anong tawag dito, ano yung mangyayari, no? Ano, naging efficient ba talaga siya? No, so, ayan. So, we can make adjustment based naman doon sa result na nakuha natin. Hmm. And then, ano ba ang purpose and benefits ng CDIO model? No? So, sa CDIO model po, it provides students with a full cycle of learning. Kasi nga, nagsimula po siya sa mismong ideation, conception, hanggang sa product operation. No? Which is actually, yan talaga yung process pagdating sa engineering practice. No? Also, no, using the CDIO model, no, yung mga students natin, they learn how to apply yung theoretical knowledge to practical problems. So, sabi nga, hindi lang natin nako-cover, hindi lang natin na-understand yung tanong na bakit nagkaganito, bakit nagkaganyan. But also, students, engineering students also understand papaano, no, papaano ba ito nangyari, no. And then the model emphasizes hands-on project-based learning where students work on real-world problems and creating tangible products or systems, enhancing their problem-solving and teamwork skills. Wait lang ha, wait lang. Okay. Okay. So, isa pa rin sa purpose ng CDIO model is that yung approach kasi ng CDIO, it prepares yung mga engineering students natin na maging complex, flexible, no, pagdating sa professional engineering practice. No? Since, ito kasing CDIO, katulad nung unang-una nating purpose and benefits, kasi siya ay nagsisimula talaga from the start. No? Talagang lahat ng stages no noong sa CDIO process natin, it will help for them to be equipped no to handle yung mga similar na mga problems, difficulties and challenges pagdating sa careers nila. Since all throughout ay nandoon talaga ang yung approach ng CDI o kailangan ay andun yung mga engineers natin. And then throughout the CDIO stage, students collaborate in teams, which helps them develop important skills in communications, leadership, and project management. So, saan ba commonly ina-apply ang CDIO model? No, so actually, this is being adopted sa kahit na nung engineering programs po. No. So, actually, ini-encourage na kumbaga, hangga't maaari, yung approach or yung manner kung paano tayo mag-solve ng problem should be structured. No? So, sabi nga, from the idea generation hanggang sa mismong application niya. No? So, yung CDIO model provides a framework for designing yung engineering curricula that emphasizes both technical and practical skills, which is used para ma-ensure na yung graduates po natin are industry ready. So, commonly ginagamit siya para po commonly sa iba't ibang industries such as automotive, aerospace, electronics, and other industries pa po. No? So here, there is an example po ng CDIO model. Yan. No, so I believe some of you or most of you ay nakakita na ng ganito. Kung talagang kayo nagpunta na sa library para kayo ay makagawa ng inyong paper. You can see there na unang part po is about the knowledge requirements, which tackles or discusses about the raw materials, the information about the raw materials, and what are the hardware requirements, technical requirements. No. And then from the designing stage, so everything and anything na may kinalaman po in the designing proper. No, so ano ba yung kailangang i-consider pagdating sa pagde-design, ano ba yung mga tools na pwedeng gamitin pagdating sa design, then it will be included here. No. And then pagdating sa implementation stage, so commonly if you are to consider yung objective natin, no, for the implementation stage, magsisimula talaga siya with the fabrication. Kasi diga, by definition, yung atin po na implement wherein we are to, anong tawag dito, manufacture na, no, produce na mismo yung ating dinesign na anong tawag dito, yung atin po na dinesign na project, no. Okay? So, from fabrication until yun nga verification ng halimbawa quality ng ating um anong tawag dito ng ating product output, no. So, kaya included diyan yung fabrication process, if you are to check you can conduct preliminary and performance testing, if you are to conduct laboratory testing, or if we are to check yung quality, may mga sensory evaluation, so on and so forth. No? Well, sa operate stage naman, so sabi nga dyan, yan yung mismong system na. No? Yan yung kung ano ba mismo yung i-operate natin, yung i-maintain, yan. So commonly, ang inilalagay natin dyan is yung designed and developed na machine, and then kung meron siyang product yung ating output, and then of course since nag-provide tayo ng manual for the maintenance, diga, so included po yan dun sa ating operation process. Okay? No. So idagdag ko lang kasi hindi nakasama dito sa ating module, no. Yun pong engineering design process, no. So ito yung sabi kong pangatlo na model na pwede niyo pong gamitin pagdating sa ating um, research, no. So I believe this engineering design process was introduced to you during your introduction to engineering. No, so I believe you are kumbaga aware na tungkol dito, kumbaga since na-introduce na sa inyo, medyo familiar na kayo dito, no. So actually this EDP process model is adopted from University of Colorado Boulder, no. So, by definition, this EDP is a series ng steps, okay, that guides yung engineering teams as we solve problems. So, these are the that is the similarity of the CDIO to engineering design process. So kita nyo naman sa title pa lang, this is primarily for engineering students, or I mean engineering no courses. Okay? So yung design process po, this is iterative. Ano bang ibig sabihin nun? We are to, ibig sabihin po noon that we need to repeat yung mga steps natin as many times as needed. No? Ibig sabihin, hanggat pwede pang may ma-improve, then we will repeat it. No? So we make improvements along the way habang kumbaga sabi nga, during the process na o nagtatry tayo tapos nakikita natin pwede pang ma-improve. I mean, nag-fail dito, pwede natin siyang i-improve. No? So we learn from those failures, and then from there, we uncover yung new design possibilities. No? So dahil nga ganun, somewhat in the end, no, sa ilang beses nating pag-try at pag-test, no, nag-arrive tayo doon sa pinaka feasible and optimum solution. No. So you can see dito sa ating pong figure 1, no, dito sa ating slide dito, yung steps po ng ating engineering design process. No. So you can see there that there are 7 steps. No? Magsisimula yun sa ask, sa research, sa imagining stage, planning, creating, and testing. And then yung last is the improving stage. No? Wherein, anong tawag dito? Nagsisimula po yung process natin with the asking stage. No? So, dyan po sa asking stage, dyan po tayo, dyan natin dinidefine, no? We identify yung need as well as yung constraint. So, kumbaga, siya yung part kung saan dinidefine natin yung problem. So, lagi naman yan nagsisimula sa mga research questions natin. So, in this point or in this stage, dyan po natin kinoconsider ano ba yung mga pain points, no? Or ano ba yung need doon sa problem natin na gusto nating isolve. No? So, there are questions such as ano ba yung main goal ng project natin, no? Sino ba ang possible na maging end user, yun, again, ano ba yung pain point natin, yan. So, of course, to check yung constraints, no? So, available ba yung mga resources natin? Ano ba yung mga resources na kailangan natin? No? So, included dyan. No? And then next is the research problem. No? So, sa research problem, dyan po yung nagko-conduct tayo ng, I mean, conduct ng research. No? Lahat ng information, anything and everything na may kinalaman po doon sa na-identify natin na problem or doon sa na-identify natin na need. No? So, lahat ng may kinalaman doon, i-research natin for us to consider. No? As well as, pwede rin po tayo, we try to conduct research, no? We try to look for similar projects, no? No? Na may kinalaman dun sa study natin. We take note yung mga possible na opportunities for improvement, no? So that in the end magkaroon tayo ng positive na outcome, no? And then yung third steps natin is the imagine stage, kung saan po, dyan na tayo conceptualize o nag-iisip ng mga possible na solution. Ito yung stage kung saan tayo po ay nagbe-brainstorm at saka yun nga, nagko-conceptualize, ideation process. No? So, kumbaga, after natin ma-identify yung, kumbaga, uh, yung basis ng project natin and ano ba yung mga specific requirements. So, doon papasok na yung mga ideas, no? Doon na siya magpo-form. So, kung natatandaan ninyo with your intro to A, dyan yung nagdi-discuss kayo with your group members, di ba? Kayo yung nagbe-brainstorm, and then from there, lahat ng mga ideas ninyo pinagsasama-sama, iniisa-isa ninyo yung mga ideas na yan. Alin ba yung mga possible ninyo na gawin? No, and then from there you decide kung alin ba yung sa tingin ninyo ay pinakamaganda na or best solution, no, doon sa inyong project, no. So doon sabi nga natin maraming ideas, ngayon pagsasama-samahin, i-identify alin yung pinaka-importante and all, and then from there, yan, pipili na tayo ng pinaka-promising na solution, no? So, after ma-decide kung alin yung solution na gagawin, then magke-create na tayo ng prototype, no? So, in here, um, itetest natin yung concept ng ating concepts natin. Papaano? By creating po yung prototype, no, para ma-visualize natin yung finished product, no. So dito sa process na ito, you can see, kumbaga, you can find yung mga areas na possible na ma-improve, as well as kumbaga we use it para ma-validate yung mga existing natin na concepts, no. And then next naman is testing process, no. So dito tayo nagte-test, tinetest natin yung prototype natin para po ma-clarify natin or kumbaga ma-answer natin yung specific natin na problem, no. To important question as well as para ma-identify po natin yung mga potential flaws or yung mga drawbacks natin, no. So yung result ng bawat testing natin, it will help us to kumbaga troubleshoot, kumbaga mag-trial and error tayo, and then sabi nga mag-a-iterate tayo na mag-a-iterate dun sa prototype na na-create natin as many times as needed para makapag-produce tayo nung atin na final na product, no. And then, ayan, yung huling phase natin is the improvement stage wherein, if needed, no, need natin talaga magre-design or sabi nga pagka-development ay magmo-modify tayo, magmo-modification process, no. Kasi during the testing yan, there are chances na may magko-comment, may mga feedbacks diyan, yung mga results ng ating prototype testing, yan. So there are cases na kumbaga yung result natin ay subject for improvement dapat yung ating na-develop. So those information, those are needed para makapag-create tayo ng kumbaga mas customized na solution, optimum design, optimum na solution para po ma-address yung atin na problem, no. So basically, if I were to suggest, if I may suggest with you, I hope you can use or you use CDIO or this engineering design process. Since again, sabi nga, that is for engineering, no? And I mean, mas detalyado siya compared to the IPO model, no? And for the EDP, no, actually, ang common, no, or based sa mga nakikita ko ng mga klase ng studies, most probably if your study is a design and simulation, no, ito yung ginagamit since iterative nga yung EDP. I mean, you try and try and try, trial and error hanggang sa makuha natin yung pinaka-optimum na design, no. Kasi medyo mahirap if we are to use this EDP tapos ay design and development tayo. Well, pwede naman, lalo kung medyo low cost yung gagamitin natin na materials, no, na pwede tayong mag-modify. Kasi syempre, modification, it entails, kumbaga, ay cost, no, pagdating sa design and development. But if it is design and simulation, since more of software naman siya, kumbaga, ay hindi naman hardware talaga siya na kumbaga, laptop ang kailangan. Medyo ang constraint naman doon is that, yun, time, no? So, anong tawag dito? I mean, uh, mas applicable for the PDP for design and simulation. But for both, no, I hope ito na lang yung gamitin ninyo, no, for your anong tawag dito, for your um, conceptual framework. Ano? So, yan. Dito muna tayo. Hanggang dito muna tayo. No, saka na lang natin ituloy, discuss. Since